In a city forged of iron and flame, where the lake meets the steel, a voice rises not to kneel. From the streets of Milwaukee, where the cold winds bite, blue lights flash in the dead of night. Stories written in rust and rain, young souls caught in a reckless game. Engines roar like a battle cry, Kia ghosts as they ride or die. 2019 when the spark was lit, now the whole damn city's feeling it. But beneath that chaos, beneath that fear, there's truth that they don't want you to hear. Not just crime, not just blame, there's a system feeding the flame. Crowns it all, watch them rise, watch them fall. There are no kings in this concrete throne, no ruler stands when the truth is known. From the streets to the streams, hear the people say, we don't bow, not today. Raise your voice, let the truth ring loud, not for clout, not to please the crowd. This is war for the soul of the day, and we're taking our power back. No King's Day. Livestream fires, we gather round, digital tavern, truth goes down. Breaking it all, the past revealed, history's wounds never truly heal. What is a king in a land so free? Just a man with authority. But when power drips into control, that's when you gotta take your soul. We talk of crime, but what's the cause? Broken homes and broken laws, numbers rising year by year, but no one wants to face that fear. Drag from the truck, a moment in time, split-second choices blurred the line. Justice or chaos, truth or spin, where does the story really begin?
I'm not here just to entertain, I'm here to cut through all the pain, to speak for those who lost their way, to light a fire that won't decay.
There are no kings in this concrete throne, no ruler stands when the truth is known. From the streets to the streams, hear the people say, we don't bow, not today. Raise your voice, let the truth ring loud, not for clout, not to please a crowd. This is war for the soul of the day, and we're taking our power back. No King's Day. I'm just a voice from the Midwest, cold, not bought, not sold, just truth untold. Through trials, storms, and endless fights, still standing here in the fading light. 3 battles won, but the war's not done. Still staring down what's yet to come. But I won't break, I won't bend or sway. Not now, not ever, not any day.
No kings above, no chains below, only truth and the will to know.
Every storm's got thunder, every trial's got a name, every hero's got a moment when the world don't look the same. They can twist up the story, try to weaponize the truth, but we've seen this kind of battle since the days of ancient rule. Whoa. When the mighty try to crush the small, the humble found their flame. Like King David with his sling, I'm stepping in the frame. And though they scheme in the shadows, tossing papers like stones, my faith is a fortress and my courage is my own. I won't break, I won't fade. This is how warriors are made. We rise anyway. We rise anyway, no matter what they say. When their tactics get dirty and they're hoping we decay, we rise anyway, through the violence and the fray, with the heart of a lion and the strength to stay. Let them throw their cold accusations our way. We rise anyway. I've seen giants dressed as men, I've seen lawyers twist the night, trying to pull me in the shadows where they never show the light. Whoa, whoa. But truth walks like Joshua round the walls of Jericho. Silent at first, then boom, watch the strongholds overthrow. Yeah, they can mock, they can push, try to drown me in the noise, but the righteous stay steady and the humble keep their poise. I walk through fire, but I don't burn down, 'cause the Lord's in my corner every round. When they hope I collapse or stray, faith says no, boy, we ride anyway. We rise anyway, no matter what they say. When their tactics get dirty and they're hoping we decay, we rise anyway, through the filings and the fray, with the heart of a lion and the strength to stay. Let them throw their cold accusations our way. We rise anyway. Hey, maybe they think they've written the end of my song, but they've forgotten every comeback starts with a wrong. Remember Daniel in the lion's den, untouched by the bite. And Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego walk through fire in the light. History shows the faithful don't fall. We stand tall even when they want us small. So let them whisper, let them try their petty plans. We've seen darker nights, and still we stand. We rise anyway. We rise anyway, no matter what they say. When the giants throw shade and they want us led astray, we rise anyway, through the violence and the fray. 'Cause the truth is a mountain they can't sweep away. Let them throw their cold accusations our way. We rise. So besties, lift your heads, keep your spirits in the fight. We're walking through the valley, but we carry our own light. No matter how they shake us or the games they try to play, we rise together every day.
Supa Dave, slicing through the haze, from the depths of drama to brighter days. YouTube stage, where he throws a shade, no filter, just truth grenades. He's got a name rising from the wreckage. He's reborn with 600 millions, his fan base sworn, and award-winning story told. In the circus of commentaries, Supa Dave, jester of truths. In a world of lies, he's got the proof. In a world of clowns, he wears the crown, climbing high in his digital sky. Miltownsbest, his battle cry. Miltownsbest, his battle cry. Recovering addict, but he's no saint, extending a hand with no restraint. Artistic pride with a smirk so bold. Favorite shadow legends while the stories are told. From the jaws of addiction he emerged, from under the bridge, making other men splurge, making other men splurge. Supa Dave, she wears the crown, climbing high in this digital sky. Miltown's besties battle cry. Miltown's besties battle cry. The legend of Supa Dave shall never die. The legend of Supa Dave shall never die. Light is out for Supa Dave, he's our guy. He's our guy. Because Miltown's besties battle cry.
Well, hello, everybody. How's it going? It's the 29th of March, Sunday, and I'm live, and it is like 12:40 p.m. Central Standard Time, not my normal time slot. I did indeed plan to go live today at like 3 p.m., but you know how I get. I get antsy, I get overran, and I'm like, if I'm going to do this thing, I'm already ready. I'm all geared up. I might as well just do the dang thing. So I hope you don't mind. I'm coming to you a bit early today. I did have VickiPedia planned to come on today. I did send them the link. I hope they are awake. Probably not even awake, though. But if they are, they will let me know they're in chat, and then I will let them in. And we will do this dang thing. But we have a lot to discuss today. I'm going to kind of overload you guys with a bunch of topics because I've been a busy bear. I've been working very hard, and I see there are so many of you guys in chat right now, and I just got to say hello to a few of you. You know how all of us in our community like to say our hellos. It's kind of a thing we do. So my mama Ed, Cat Lady, John Cook, Marla, Grumpy. Who else do we see? Cat Lady. Just everybody is here, and I'm happy to see all of you guys. I'm a bit rusty. I gotta admit, guys, I'm a bit rusty. I haven't been in the studio for all that long. This is a bit different for me. You know, normally I've been doing videos pre-recorded as of late, and I'm not used to being back in the studio. But that is a sign of progress being made in my personal life, and I'm happy for it. And guys, I've been busy, 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 busy. Uh, as you guys all know, I've been working on writing. I want to be an author. I've been wanting to be an author since I was a kid. Like, it's been a dream of mine. And now I'm not going to say I'm a good writer or anything like that, but I'm a dreamer. I'm a dreamer. And I've been stewing on this idea for what could be a whole spew of books. It's a pretty complex idea that for years I've been trying to iron out and get everything going. And I decided that 2026 was going to be the year I've actually decided to do this book. So I've been writing and writing and writing and writing and rewriting and reading and rewriting, and I'm finally to the point where I'm about 8 chapters in, and I think I have locked in my prologue and my first chapter. Okay. I was going to do them together, but after having a couple people read it, they think it needs to be split into a prologue and a chapter, first chapter. So that's what I'm going to do. And today, as a goal, YouTube recommends we do these goal things. It is a way to kind of pique interest and support creators. I figured, if we hit my goal today, I'm going to release the first draft of my first chapter and prologue for you guys to read. But with that being said, I have to let you guys know this is just a first draft. There is probably an abundance of spelling. Well, I shouldn't say too much spelling, but there's some grammatical errors, some run-on sentences. But that's to be expected with a first draft. So if you're going to read this first draft, I'm not saying go easy on me and placate me. I need honest feedback. I need honest to goodness feedback. I need to know if the concept as a whole, because you'll get the whole concept from the prologue and the first chapter. You'll get it. I need to know if it interests you, if the writing is compelling, what you would change, so that's what I'm offering up today. The first draft. And like I said, this is going to be a long road, but I want to have this novel done this year. And I'm very excited. And I like what I've written so far. Not just the prologue in the first chapter. I liked how far I've pressed this thing and how far I'm actually pushing with it. So yeah, it's not giveaways. It's not nothing like that. It's, you can read if you hit the go. But guys, it means a lot to me. This is a passion project of mine, and I hope you guys like it. So that's that. Other than that, I see Tammy J is in the crowd. Hey, Tammy
Thanks
J.
for the dono.
Oh, wow.
Love to read it.
Awesome. $4.99 from Donna. Thank you, Donna, so much. I really appreciate that. All I ask is you be honest with me. If you think it's trash, tell me it's trash. It is a timepiece. It does involve magic of sorts. It does involve the wizard Merlin. From a nerd like me, you should expect that. But it's a very interesting concept, and I'm excited about it. With all that being said, guys, I want to talk about the world. I want to talk about the state of the world, guys. What the hell is going on in the world? Oh, wow. Well, hello to Harley. Tell John, tell Harley I say hello, and I will give her the super horns. Here's where I wanted to start today's stream, guys. Have any of you guys heard or seen the video of the transgender lawyer in Oklahoma getting arrested while trying his case? Well, not trying, but he was trying to do some normal stuff, procedural stuff with the courts. And it was quite the adventure. If you guys have seen this video, put a 1 in chat, because we're going to start with this video. But just a little bit of background information before we start. The video is going to feature an Oklahoma lawyer who is transgender, born female, transition male. They now go by the name of Rob Hopkins. Yes, the drama queen. Exactly. Seahawks, Christine. Cat Lady even said, yes, he was a baby. Yes, Rob Hopkins. Not to be confused with Roy Hopkins, as some people online are reporting his name as. But his name is Rob, and Rob does a lot of family law stuff in Oklahoma and has garnered quite the reputation. And not many lawyers like Rob. And I'm not going to say he's one of these uppity transgender types, because that's a stereotype. But what I am going to say is this man did the transgender movement as a whole no favors with this video. I'm going to dive into it. We're going to watch it together, guys, so you can see where we're coming from. But we got to remember here, guys, that the transgender movement, they focus on rights. They want to be treated, if they are transitioned to a male, they want to be treated with all the rights that males get. They want to be treated like a male. And a very interesting aspect of this is it appears that Rob here doesn't want to be male. He just wants special treatment. And that's my opinion. That's my opinion. I want to know everybody's thoughts as we watch this, just like I'm going to give you mine. But this is going to start. This is put out by the Daily Caller. This is the full video put out by the courts. It is not a cell footage. This is the actual official video. And this is some craziness. And it's really speaking to me to where the world is going, in my opinion. But we're going to start today with Rob Hopkins.
What are you doing? What are you doing? You're hurting me! You're hurting me!
I'm sorry. Well, I shouldn't be laughing right off the jump, guys. I apologize. And Christine said it right. Rob seems to want it both ways. And as we watch this, it's abundantly clear. Now, I don't want to give away VickiPedia's opinion on this. It sucks I started early. But VickiPedia, we were talking about this, and VickiPedia thought there might have been excess force used in this. And I can see that as well. I can see that side 100%. But let's go on, guys.
Well, that didn't go as planned. Let's back up a bit, huh? This is transgender lawyer Rob Hopkins in Oklahoma. Things in the courtroom are a little testy because Rob's client did not show up for court. So let's watch the tension build to a fever pitch.
I don't think there's any need in going forward today.
We were back to the issue at hand, which was you asked me to not
Okay, Hopkins,
provide testimony on behalf of my client. You asked me what paragraph it was. I pointed you to the exact paragraph.
Stop.
It's her
Now, before the judge is even going to say it, Rob seems agitated. Rob seems extremely agitated. He seems uppity. He's obviously very red in the face. Appears agitated. Now, look at this alpha lawyer to the side of him here. You know, got the hands in his pocket, clearly amused, and dare I say, ashamed. What do they call it? Secondhand embarrassment. This lawyer just looks like this poor guy. Smoking D says it's okay to laugh because they left their arse off. And yeah, I mean, it's going all over the internet for a reason, guys. But I think the judge right here is right to say what she says, because look at his face alone. He's red as a tomato.
Stop.
Stop because you don't want to hear what the
stop!
argument is.
Stop! You interrupt me one more time, you are being held in direct contempt.
Look at the sarcastic nodding. Did anybody else catch that? Like, sure you will. Sure you will. It's a case of, what do they say? F around and find out. I feel like Rob effed around. And I'm not going to call this judge a Karen because I don't know this judge at all. But this judge doesn't like to be overtalked. Not many judges enjoy being overtalked, it appears. But it seems like, you know, there's your warning, Mr. Hopkins. There's your warning. Shut the F up, guy.
Of court, and
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
wipe that smirk off.
I don't
your
have a
face.
smirk on my face.
Oh, yes, you
I
do.
do not.
Yeah, K-Hug says, oh, this is the lawyer? Yeah, this is the lawyer. And he definitely effed around and found out. And there were some aspects we're going to get to as we go through this that really, I could see some people saying it was excess force, but I'll be damned if it wasn't funny.
I am not going to tolerate this from you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. There was a pause. There was a break. I
Oh,
wasn't
sure.
done with my argument.
And I was not done with my statement. You interrupted again.
That was it. That was the move right there that seemed to set this judge off. Now, I have not that many of you guys in chat. There's 28 of you guys, according to my statistics right now in chat. If you think he threw that phone down, put a 2 in chat, please. If you think Rob Hopkins sat the phone down gingerly, lightly, as to not cause a scene, put a 1 in chat. I'll tell you my opinion. That looked like he was aggravated and he tossed his phone out of frustration. So I personally would be putting a 2 in chat, but that's just me. That seemed smooth move, X-Lex. Exactly, K-Huck. Exactly. Seeing lots of 2s in chat. So obviously what Rob's reasoning for this is BS. It's complete BS.
Not done with my statement. You interrupted again. Do not throw your...
I did not throw. It fell off the bench. Please stop stating things that are not true, ma'am.
Sir, you've got...
Now he's calling the judge a liar. Maggot in chat. I love seeing all these names in chat. It really is awesome. You know, I was in Peapod's chat last night, and it was good times. It reminded me of the good old CC days back almost 2 years ago now. I hope you're doing well, Maggot. It's good to see you. And yeah, that was a bitch fit. Rob Hopkins, while being a man, is clearly still throwing bitch fits. And then calling the judge a liar. Smoking D says he tried to do a mic drop. Yeah. Let's just hope it wasn't one of those new iPhones.
A room full of witnesses.
I do. I put it down. I did. I put it down and it fell down. I did not fall.
Then settle down.
I'm
It
not.
did.
I'm not upset, and I'm not arguing. You're not letting me make an argument. I'm not red in the face, ma'am. I'm not.
Stop. Our court reporter cannot.
Side note, Megan says they are making candles. Sounds like a fun hobby. You should make some videos of that. That would be a pretty good video. I bet you it would get a lot of views. Sorry, guys, for derailing. Tank Girl in chat. Hey, Tank Girl.
Get what we're both saying.
I am trying to make my argument. You interrupted my argument halfway through.
This
On
is
an
a panic
objection.
button that will get every available deputy in
Yes,
front of
ma'am.
Pop
I'm
County.
aware. It's happened to
You're
me before.
interrupting.
As I said, from my research while doing all this, Rob Hopkins has a reputation. Rob Hopkins likes to throw around the word transphobic a lot. Now, I don't know if this is a legal strategy that he thinks is going to work or anything, but all it has appeared to do in this Oklahoma county is piss off the court system, opposing counsel, and everybody the like. Even Rob knows he's had issues with the court before. And the sad part is he sounds almost happy about it, that he's been a nuisance. And this is going to come back again. And Megan, I look forward to those pictures.
It has.
Yes.
Because you're out of line
Yeah,
with courts.
I guess so.
Okay. If I push that
Or maybe
button,
because I'm a transgender attorney practicing all over the state.
I don't know.
There again, Rob thought he was mic dropping again. Maybe it's because I'm a transgender attorney. No, maybe it's because you're an argumentative ass clown throwing bitch fits because you are not getting special treatment or getting your way. You know, I see a lot of, I don't want to say I've dealt with lots of lawyers, but in the past year or so, I've had my fair share of interactions with lawyers, both good and bad. And I've come to realize, guys, and I'm just going to be real, and I'm going to be very blunt. I fucking hate lawyers. I fucking hate lawyers. They are the most argumentative, self-righteous, I think I am right 1,000% of the time and will not concede that I am wrong ass kisses I've ever, I've dealt with a bunch of them now. And I don't care if they're fighting for the good or the bad. They all think they're right about everything. And I've come to realize I hate lawyers. I hate dealing with the legal system. I hate it. And anybody that chooses this as a profession, they like to debate and they always think they're right. K-Huck says, I'm sure, LOL, all that has been dismissed though, right? I'm not trying to talk about it on my channel that much anymore. But I will say the judge has dismissed 8 of us from the lawsuit currently, although there was leave to amend till April 2nd, but the judge put very, very strict rails on what this amendment should consist of, basically saying it could not exceed 20 pages and said that it needs to basically show proof. You need to show damages. You need to show contracts. You need to show everything. So as it stands, as of today, I am dismissed from any lawsuit. That's not to say by April 2nd, he might try to rename me or do whatever. But I've purposely said that, and I've made it abundantly clear on so many platforms. All this has just been hard on me. I personally would just like go on with my life, continue doing content like I'm doing right now. And I don't want to be in a pissing match with this other YouTuber. I don't want to be in a fencing battle with him, jousting. I don't even want to like cover the legal proceedings anymore. I don't. Because all it does is it just creates content for other smaller channels, much like it did for CC creators. And I'm speaking to K Huck now because K Huck's the one who asked the question. And K Huck is from the commentary community. So not from the little community that's grown out of everything that I've been involved in. But I would just like to say bygones be bygones. You weren't right. I wasn't right. We both were wrong in a lot of our actions. Let me walk my path. You can walk your path. Now it's up to him if he accepts that or denies that. And all it's going to do is cause more stress for us both, more money for him if he decides to keep doing this, what I consider harassment and abusive process. And bottom line is I'm not even gonna say it. Bottom line is I've been showing everybody that, hey, I have more chops than being a logger. In commentary, everybody, a logging is when you follow a YouTuber's content and you pick apart everything they do and you try to get them with gotchas every which way you can. You know what I'm saying? You try to call out their every misdeed, everything. And there are lots of people who A-log for a pretty good living. I can name a couple in our community that do it. I don't want to be an A-logger. I don't want to A-log any one person. Mo Magic has a point, but yeah. Megan even says they've done a little A-logging. And honestly, Megan, I'll say it right now. I'm sorry that we got a little derailed, but A-logging has what got me into all this. All right? Like, I was looking at a creator who nobody had I don't want to say farmed or milked. But I saw a lol cow, right? Let me just rephrase it. I saw somebody. Yes, Megan, you did A-log me. And I A-logged you. I saw somebody who I perceived as a lol cow, who nobody was covering at the time. And I was like, all right, make some content on this. They were doing some things that I didn't agree with at the time. And I made content on them, which absolutely well within my right, in my opinion. He may find it differently. And then that just started nonsense, right? And I think back, had I not been focused on that commentary community mindset at that time, had I not been focused on A-logging, as it were, had I not been focused on milking a perceived lol cow, had I not, how do I say this? Had I not done certain aspects, I don't think it would have gotten to this point. Maybe it would have, because apparently I'm not the only person that he tried suing. So, I've said it several times. I've been, for the past several months now, I've been trying to pivot my content away from all of that. And we'll see where it goes. I hope I didn't. Did I just lose connection here? Am I still live, guys? It seems like I'm having issues. I'm not sure if I lost connection or not. Hold on, guys. Let me check something. Okay, I wasn't sure if I lost my connection. Okay. All right. Yeah, basically I felt like doing all this really got me tied up in some shit that I wasn't prepared for. Okay, thank you guys. Uh I'm in it now, right? I'm in it now. And I'm doing the best I can with what I have. And lots of people see. It sucks that I have to choose my words like this. You know, I should just be like Afro Man, like I have free speech, yada yada yada. But the guy that's doing all this, guys, plays very very dirty. In my opinion, he plays very very dirty, and he brings family, neighbors, real life shit into what is basically an online drama beef, right? And that's just drama I don't wanna be a part of. I see what is being done. Thank you, Mo Magic just put the definition in there. Um, I how do I say this? I see what is being done currently, right, to Miss Lisa Lee of Two Lees in a Pod. And you guys got me to talk about this. Fuck. I see how she's being treated, right? And I've seen the comments that people leave her. And she's got strong mental health. There's no question about that. But uh, for me, it's done a lot of damage, right? This one creator has done a lot of damage in my life. And you can't blame me for not wanting to keep fighting this for years and years and years and years and years. When there's people like Mr. Rob Hopkins in this world that we could be talking about. Megan says, not to be sardonic, but what I've learned the last few years is that you can have online associates, but you should never have them close, if that makes sense. A lot of people have bad intentions. Yeah. Um, yeah. Yeah. One step more important, Maggot, is if you're gonna be covering people, right? If you're gonna cover somebody, make sure they are willing to play the content creation game. That's my one addendum, right? Like, if you're gonna go back and forth with somebody, kind of like in this community, right? There's Jay Hipsher, just Jay Hip or whatever, and then there's Lisa. In my opinion, they have agreed to play the content game back and forth, right? Jay Hip covers Lisa, Lisa covers Jay, yeah, and they go back and forth. So that seems like mutual consent, in my opinion. They are both making money off each other. They are. It's a blatant fact. AdSense revenue, whatever. They're making money off their drama. They are. It's a fact. Now, if somebody revokes that consent, I think, I'm not saying this is how it is. I think that should end the beef. I think that should, when one person says, "Hey, man, I cannot, my mental well-being cannot hold up to this," or this, and that. I think then just basic humanity should outwin the rules of online engagement, so to speak. And that should just be it, in my opinion. Now, a lot of people play dirty because they take all this shit to heart when really they're online effing videos. They're online effing videos, guys. That may call you dumb, stupid, fat, whatever. And as long as it stays dumb, stupid, fat, that's cool. But when it goes to the area of trying to put people in jail and trying to to over exaggerate this and try to make a crime out of that shit is just ridiculous in my opinion. And as Smoking D says, I stood up for myself and I should be proud of it. I am very proud of it. But a part of me hurts. A part of me feels that I'm a loser. That I'm walking away with an L because I don't want to talk about this guy anymore. And I hope people don't hold that against me. But that's like saying you've been getting whipped for a year and a half. Tell me what person who gets whipped for a year and a half, after a year and a half, says, "Thank you, sir, may I have another," after that long of getting whipped. It would take a sadistic person, in my opinion, who likes that. I don't enjoy the problems being caused in my personal life and court filings and spending
Thanks for
hours.
the dono.
Thank you so much, Shellbell. That really means a lot to me. I don't appreciate this. Do you guys understand? They can say Dave used AI for his legal filings all he wants, right? They can say that all he wants. They weren't there for the over 100 hours I had invested in every single legal filing I put in. And that's just time wasted. That's just time wasted. You know what I'm saying? This has caused me more than online lols for some people and oohs and ahs. And this is real. And I've heard Lisa say this. This is real life shit that has taken place, right? What could have just been online beef came into all of our real lives.
Let's go.
Keep being you, Dave. Looking great.
Thank you.
Hashtag beasties, people hugging emoji, purple heart emoji.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Stacy. Thank you. Still doesn't take an effect, right? I was in another YouTuber's chat last night, right? And that YouTuber who was on the panel said, "Is that Milltown?" Because that community calls me Milltown. They don't call me Supa Dave or anything. They call me Milltown. And they said, "Is that Milltown? I haven't seen you for a year and a half." And that's true. That's very true. Because it's sad when you don't even want to associate with anybody online. And that goes for people in this community or the commentary community or any community I've ever associated with on the internet, out of fear that everything you say is getting leaked back to a YouTuber who has nefarious intent to do with something with it. So what was my response to that? Just don't talk to anybody. Just don't talk to anybody. And for over a year, I didn't talk to anybody. And it has just been with the dismissal that I've started coming out of my shell and I've started making content again, the content that I want to make, right? The content that I'm comfortable making. And this is the content I see myself doing in the future. And I expect it's stupid for me to try to have just transitioned without explaining how my feelings on the situation. So Kayak was completely right in asking about where everything is with all that. And I am sorry I derailed the stream for long enough with all that. But the last thing I want to say on that is this could just be done. At least as far, I can't speak for anybody else who covers that YouTuber. I want to let that be abundantly clear, right? I want to be abundantly clear. I can't speak for anybody else because after all, as the courts even said, there is no civil conspiracy. There's not. Basically what there was several YouTubers that had the same feelings about a YouTuber, and they all made separate content. Sometimes went on each other's content and talked and shared their opinions. I can't speak for any of them, but I can speak for myself and say this could just be done with me and that content creator. He can continue doing whatever he's going to do, and I won't even give him advice anymore, because obviously he's more successful than I am, ever will be probably. But this could just be done. This could be there's no need to I won't throw sand in your face, and you shouldn't throw sand in my face. You've lost enough money, and I've invested more than enough time and ego and everything else in this. Let's both walk away with our losses and be done.
Thanks for the dono.
Thank you
People
so much.
hugging emoji, purple heart emoji, hashtag besties.
Shelbell says, you always just be you. Make the content you enjoy bringing out. Absolutely. And Stacy says that they love the transition. All right. I appreciate you saying that. I feel like it's going to, and if it costs me, I've said this several times, if it costs me subscribers, so be it. Those ones weren't here for me anyways. You know what I'm saying? They were here for the drama. And I've done everything in this past year and a half to show you the real me, to show you what my goals are, show you who I am as a person. You've had enough to sample this point, and if the only thing that was keeping you here was my hatred for somebody, that's not appropriate in my opinion. Marla raises an interesting point. And hey, it's his money. And that's what it comes down to, right? The courts let people put as much strife in another's life with this shit for a while, until a judge gets hip to what's going on. Now, in my opinion, the judges that are involved in said lawsuits are pretty hip to what's going on. That's what I'm going to say on that. Megan says it's always the worst people who see success, but I also see people who don't deserve success not being successful. So you win some, you lose some. Yeah, I agree with Maggot, but here's the thing: is it's my dream to do this. It's my dream to do this, just like it's my dream to write a novel and to do everything I've been doing. Right. I've had one dream already shut down by the haters, right? And I was so sad that they shut that down, right? I'm not going to let anything else get shut down. I want to be a YouTuber. I've been wanting to be a YouTuber since like 2008. If you guys join the Miltownsbesties, my membership tier, you could see my first vlog I ever did when I was, I don't even know how old I was. 18, maybe 19. It's bad. But I've been wanting this for years. Really, for the past 3 or 4 years, I've been trying to make a go of it. Really trying to make a goal for it. And I'm going to continue doing that. There's plenty of content out here that I can cover. I don't need to A-log one YouTuber only, right? I've been watching a lot of Kino Casino lately, Maggot. And I don't know if anybody else in the chat watches the Kino Casino. It might be a little bit a younger demographic for some in the chat. But these guys, they do A-logging, but they do it in a funny way, right? They're not out to hurt anybody. They're out to, it's goofs and gaffs, and if you're going to do content on another creator, I would suggest you look to people like the Kino Casino. They do it in a funny way. They're not out to hurt people's real life. They just cover it. And they crack jokes. And if that is your cup of tea that you want to do, like I see that I bring that J Hip guy up again, right? And if that guy needs to take a few notes from the Kino Casino. Because if he took some notes from some true successful A-loggers, he would learn how the game is played, and he would probably be a lot more successful than he is now. Because when people watch him, first of all, they get hung up on his voice, and then they hear hate. They hear the wanting to hurt people IRL as opposed to poking fun at them. You know what I'm saying? And that's where shit. If you're gonna joke on somebody and say it's all jokes, then it damn sure better be all jokes and not trying to hurt people. Right? That's my spiel on that, guys. We literally got 1 minute 59 seconds into the Rob Hopkins video. So for those who don't know what we were covering originally, we got completely derailed there. I apologize. But this is the Rob Hopkins video. He's a transgender attorney. This video is nationally worldly viral right now. And in my opinion, it's good times. It's funny times. This is somebody's stupid actions that you can laugh at. And I wanted to do that. And I agree with Maggot. If people like Salvo Pancakes can still be successful, anyone probably can. I wonder how he's doing. Is he still around, Maggot? If you talk to him, tell him I say hi.
What you
do, ma'am. It's not that you do.
So we are pausing this until you get the ADA request form filled out and it gets processed.
So we're going to pause the hearing on jurisdiction that's been set twice. I drove an hour and a half to have the hearing. My client's available.
That right there speaks as a not very knowledgeable attorney. First of all, didn't have the proper paperwork filled out that he was trying to motion for, supposedly. And obviously, this is a novice attorney who's angry at their own mess ups. It sounds like to me.
Available telephonically, and we are simply not even taking testimony.
Big Z in the house.
Is your client available telephonically?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well, then get her on the phone.
Thank you.
Your Honor, to which we would object.
I gotta let it be said. You know how I said I hate lawyers? This lawyer, well, I'm smiling right now. This lawyer is one I would probably absolutely love to hate. I would hate him, but I would there would be a little part of me that would be like this guy's swagger. He's got some balls on him, this guy. He could probably, I hate his gumption and his attitude, but just look at the swagger on this man. I hate to say it, but I'm kind of team this lawyer.
This is as clear as the nose on my face that this woman will not appear before this court because she has a warrant or stealing.
Objection, you're saying that's not true. And you're ready.
You will find, sir, that
don't come at me and start me or shout at me.
I'm not putting hands right
No, we're
Oh
sorry.
my! Just I'm done.
Get out of my face,
I've been doing
sir.
it for a long
Get out.
Right, look at that alpha stance right there. If that is not the most alpha stance, right? I hands in both pockets, confrontational, but still knows court etiquette. And how he says it, he doesn't raise his voice. In fact, he lowers the octaves. He lowers the decibels. It's what do the kids say? It's absolute cinema. It's absolute cinema.
Out of my face, sir.
You may step
Get
back.
out of my face.
You should leave this county.
Get out of my face. Get out of my face.
You should leave this. Like an old Western movie. You should leave this county. Let me transition. Let me give a translation. Every effing lawyer in this town hates you. Everybody hates you, guy. You should leave this county. Maybe go over to San Francisco, where they like your kind. I'm sorry. Too much? I'm sorry.
People are my friends, and you're being ugly.
And get out of my face.
I put your hand behind back.
Why?
Because you're in direct contempt of court.
The judge puts the commentary on it because you're in direct contempt. That's why you got to put your hands behind your back, sir. Look at how red I'm getting because I find it so humorous. Now, again, I have to let it be said that there is going to be some violence coming up here, and I spoke with my podcast co-host about this, and they are under the impression that there might have been excess force used, and I'm going to say that's possible. But even so, god damn, is it entertaining.
Shouted at me. No, I'm not being. You did not even say that I was in.
You are in direct.
No, I'm not
Judge,
doing
I
my stuff.
apologize, but I felt very threatened.
The court camera in frame. The person working the gimbal's like, we can't miss this.
This person, the screaming and the yelling in court.
Yes,
I've never
exactly
heard that
how
before in this courtroom.
Do not hurt me. Do not hurt me.
Hands on your back.
Do not. Are you throwing me over this?
Now, I could say something kind of perverted about. I'm sure you guys can imagine what I'm thinking about her. Is like, you're gonna throw me over. I'm a guy. What can I say? He's like, I'm a man now. No, I'm just sorry.
Resisting.
I'm not resisting.
Okay. Put your hands on your back. Stop resisting.
You know exactly what's
Why
happening.
don't you all walk that way so you
I can't walk. I'm being thrown down.
Just settle down, walk that way.
Settle down. Do not grab me. Do not grab me. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Right here.
You're hurting me.
Right here.
You're hurting me.
Boom. Oh, I gotta watch that one more time. Look at the right here. Pay attention to right around this area, guys. That's gotta hurt. That's a broken rib if it's hit right. If it hits right.
What are you doing? You're hurting me. You're hurting me.
See you later, K-Hawk.
It's suffocating. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Put your hands behind your back.
All right. I know maybe I'm having too much fun with this video. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Hopkins, for laughing at your expense. But well, first of all, I would never do something so stupid as this. So I probably would never be in this predicament. But the whole I can't breathe. By you expelling that, right? By you expelling that, doesn't that tell people that you have oxygen? Like you're getting oxygen? That if you have so much oxygen that you can surplus some to yell and let all that out. Megan says this feels like satire. Holy wait, Megan. The best part has yet to come. The best part has yet to come. What is the point of resisting other than theater? I could say something, but it would make me sound misogynist and all types of stupid. I'm gonna say Rob Hopkins seems to be having a bad day. How's that?
Breathe. I can't breathe.
I'm not gonna the balding fellow here. All the force seems to be coming from this guy. Exact. Stacy just said, if you can yell, you can breathe. I agree. This guy's going hard here. This guy has some hatred for Mr. Hopkins, some deep-seated hatred somewhere. Going ham on him.
I can't breathe. I can't move.
Sounds like he's breathing pretty fine, doesn't it? Oof. Akaman said, probably just a little high maintenance with all the hormone drugs. Is that a thing? I don't want to sound like I'm knowledgeable in that. And I don't want to be ignorant and say definitely that's what it is. But I mean, it could be a surplus of testosterone. I'd imagine, maybe, right? I don't know. I should have had Darcy on. Darcy could have educated all of us about this.
Help! Somebody call 911!
Uh-oh. Hold on. VickiPedia, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
You are on the channel with me. You are live. You want to say hi to everybody?
Hello. Hi, everyone.
So I started a little early. I apologize. We are currently...
Yeah, a little.
We are currently watching the Rob Hopkins. While you can't probably hear it, you should be able to see it on your screen, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see where you are. I've been watching you for a little while.
Can you give your opinion of where we're at so far? We haven't got to the greatest part yet, in my opinion. But what do you think about where we're at so far? What do you think of this whole situation?
Well, I think there's a whole lot of problems on everybody's side. Seems to be the thing, huh?
Yeah, I did make mention that you thought there might have been some excess force being used. And
yeah, I didn't really think we needed to knee the guy in the side.
He gave a jumping knee. It was a jumping.
I'm like, there was some hate there. That was a hate-fueled knee jump.
And then there was repeated elbows afterwards.
Oh my God, yeah, that hammer down on the arm to make him release his phone to the ground.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that's a little excessive.
Before we go,
it wasn't like he was swinging the phone as a weapon.
Yeah, exactly. Before we go any further, do you think this Rob Hopkins, do you think he is a person who is well liked in the community that he comes from?
I have no idea because aside from this courtroom, the judge's commentary ahead of this, I feel like she's had some previous trials with him.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that's a no. I also think, I don't know, it's hard to point a finger at someone in 30 seconds of time and go, wow, you're a bigot. But it's, that bald-headed guy obviously had some pent-up rage.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it's because of the behavior, the comments, or the condition.
Yeah, I could totally see that. Ed just said in chat, being able to gasp, you cannot breathe, is not proof you can breathe. Now here's what I would say to Ed. Well, you want to answer it?
What about Floyd?
Okay. See, here's what I would say is gasping is a lot different than expounding, yelling repeatedly at the top of your lungs. If anything, you are causing yourself at that point to be out of breath.
I totally agree with you. And for lack of better words, no pun intended and no jab intended.
Yeah.
This person was being a drama queen.
Yeah. All I said, they're obviously having a bad day. And we're right at the point where this male, I respect, the LGBTQIA community and all of that. I consider myself an ally. But the line that comes out of this lawyer's mouth right here is pretty impressive and pretty bold, in my opinion, for somebody who wants to be a male, then saying what they say coming up here. And I'm going to play it right now. So stand by, Vic.
Stand by.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Doesn't sound out of breath. Doesn't sound like they're being choked.
Somebody call 911. I don't get a female officer now.
There it was. Get a female officer now. Now, this VickiPedia is what led me to believe that this person, I shouldn't tell you what I assume their motives are, but this is a person who appears, in my opinion, to want special treatment. Now, whether that special treatment comes from being a man or whatsoever, it appears that this person, in whatever predicament they are in, wants leverage and wants control of it. What do you say to that when I say that about her asking for a female officer? This is a transgender lawyer, female, born female, went male, and now saying, I'm female, get me a female officer. What do you think about that, VickiPedia?
I think that somebody's playing the courtroom. I have had long conversations with that community, trying to understand the transition and gender identity versus the preferred sexuality.
Yeah.
And they very much see those as two very, very different things. So when you're pulling basically it's saying, I'm a female and I want a female cop.
It's special. It wants special treatment.
Saying I'm a female. Yeah.
It's give me my way. I want special. This is all I can say. Now, I said at the beginning of this, I feel like this incident has done nothing good, I should say. This whole incident has done nothing good for the transgender movement. In fact, I think this might set the transgender movement back a few steps. Does anybody in chat agree with me?
I was going to say not just transgender, but I actually went and commented on this video when you sent me the link last night.
Yeah.
And I was like, thank you for setting back women's rights 100 years.
Yeah. And I believe when we were talking, you said they act like a female officer couldn't fuck them up too.
Exactly. I'm like, why are you calling for a female officer? She's probably going to be really angry.
Yeah.
And lay you out.
Yeah.
You're suggesting she can't do that?
All right, let's finish this video out, guys. We only got like a minute or two left.
Get a female officer now. Get a female officer now. There aren't any. I can't get up. I can't see. He just threw my glasses. I can't see. Give me my glasses.
Now, I will say, as somebody who really needs their glasses to see, I know how aggravating it is when you are without your glasses. So I don't want to stick up for this Rob Hopkins too much, but I know what it feels like to not have your eyes. So if I were to give him any points, it's like, man, give the man his glasses, right? Like, this isn't cruel and unusual punishment, right?
Right, but they do. He's going on about how his glasses are broken. He broke my glasses. His glasses are sitting on the freaking table after the cop put them on there. Delicately, I should say. I probably would have just tossed them up there for the floor. And then he grabs them as they're going to walk out. I mean, it's not like the man needs his glasses as he's being led by 4 officers out of the courtroom.
Yeah. All right, let's finish it up. Sorry for stopping so much, guys. Commentary.
On my face, I cannot see. Please give me my glasses. I cannot see. I'm not trying to walk and I cannot see. I need my wallet.
Thanks, Robert. Thanks, guys.
I'm trying to walk.
Thanks, guys, they say. So, guys, that right there is the situation of Mr. Hopkins. What do we think, guys? What final thoughts on that, VickiPedia? What do we think?
I think somebody's playing the courtroom. And I was listening while you were talking about the possibility of hormones.
Yeah,
And
that was brought up by a chatter.
yeah, now honestly, we don't know how far this person has transitioned. That beard is impressive even for a cis male.
True. Yeah.
But I did, when I was doing some research last night, I found some images of this person after this court scene. They have withdrawn their license to practice law in the state of Oklahoma.
Yeah, I heard that they were taking a mental health break or whatever. I don't know if they fully retracted. Did officially resign? I thought they just closed their practice down for the time being.
Yeah, I don't whatever the picture was that I saw was, I think it was on Instagram or maybe TikTok. And it said, pulling out, will no longer practice law.
Yeah. And a lot of people are hung up on
the person looked very, very different from how they look here. They have no beard. It's kind of like a scraggly gray and black 5 o'clock shadow.
I wish I would have pulled
So
that.
I don't know how we went from Ken doll from my era beard
That's a colored pencil.
to what was in that picture. So
it's a makeup skills and colored pencil. I just couldn't believe how far this story traveled. Small little Oklahoma town. This right here is an article from the Daily Mail, all the way across the pond, so to speak. And it basically said lawyer plays the transgender card during furious argument with female judge that ended him with screaming, "I can't breathe," as he was arrested for contempt. Now, I have to let it be known that Rob Hopkins did not appear to spend any lengthy amount of time actually in custody. And from my research, I realized, I've come to realize that the judges really do that to get control of their courtroom. So sometimes you can be in contempt for an extended period of time, but mostly they just want like a cool off period. So it appears that's what was done with Rob Hopkins is, a few hours, I would imagine. There's no real that I could find that spoke to the time he was actually incarcerated for.
well, yeah, what I was trying to get to about the hormones
Yeah.
is, one, we've got a really thick beard and whatnot, and a deeper voice, which is caused by testosterone. If you don't have testosterone, you're not going to have those things unless you're wearing, theatrical makeup, whatever. But I will also say, the tossing of the phone onto the bench,
Yes,
is a very female thing to do.
that's what I said. I was like, it almost seemed like they
Yeah,
were throwing a bitch fit.
Yeah, it was. And the one thing that has always eluded me about the gay community is this affected speech that portrays them as being more, I don't know another word, but it portrays them as being like a theatrical version of a female, with the higher pitched voice, the kind of longer vowels. And so it really does make me wonder how far along this person is in their transitioning,
Yeah.
because you very obviously see a mix of hormones going on.
Yeah. As I
So
finished,
you could be very easily in the middle.
for sure. As I finished reading this article, it does say that Hopkins was held on $25,000 bond for that. And as you stated, on February 11th, the firm announced it was closing. So Hopkins Law is no more. And
Yeah, roll down because you had that picture up that I was talking about.
yeah, is that the one right there you're talking about?
That one, yeah. What happened to that big old woolly beard?
Good call.
Dark black.
I'm good. I'm
I'm like,
I'm
wait a
just
minute.
gonna say it. All trans men are styling. They're styling. Look at them. Look at that. I'm jealous of this man's glasses.
Oh yeah, no, I totally get it. I had a conversation with a trans male to female the other day, and you guys probably know him, Jeffree Star, right?
Yeah.
The big influencer. Yeah, we were having a conversation because I was like, back in my day, Gen X, when Culture Club and Boy George and the Colts and all these other groups that were part of the new wave movement, it always astounded me at the level of control of applying makeup. How did these men become more beautiful than any woman I've ever seen? And I asked Jeffree Star that question because he has maintained that he's a he.
Yeah.
But prefers to look like a woman. And I'm fine with that because back in my day, we called that transsexuals. Go back and see Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Mhm.
And there seem to have been kind of pushed out of that alphabet community. That you're either transgender or queer, but
Yeah.
transsexuals no longer exist. But yeah, I was talking to Jeffree Star about how do you look so much more beautiful than any woman I've ever seen? And it really is, like you're saying, they're stylists. They take a lot of time to use makeup to transform what would be considered male bone structure.
Yeah.
So, a stronger jaw, maybe a protruding chin with a cleft, more of a protruding forehead, that brow bone that sticks out. And makeup, no wonder men have trust issues because Jesus, what these people, women or male, can do with makeup completely transforms them into someone different. Like you're gonna wake up in the morning and find something else next to you in bed if you were drunk that.
Yeah.
It's a chameleon effect.
Yeah.
And so, it's hard to say with this person. Was it makeup? Was it styling? I mean, yeah, the guy's got it on point in that picture, but
I agree with Maggot, though. Maggot says, personally, this person shouldn't be practicing law. Clearly, they're mentally unwell, and that's it in a nutshell.
Yes, I agree.
And there is a video here. I guess I'll play it. I wasn't aware of this video, but this is basically them saying that this whole incident cost them their law practice and everything. So I'm gonna play it right now.
That last video there shut off right there at the end. But what I wanted to say and finish it off with is that domestic violence is near and dear to my heart. And so for anyone to say that I have preyed on the community and or dangled legal services in exchange for, I believe the first post said sexual favors, and the second post said working off debts. Again, absolutely false allegation. There have been volunteers in my office, and those volunteers have done so at their own wish because they had never before in their time on earth ever heard of a lawyer saying, I absolutely want $0 from you. And I've said that to several clients.
Yeah, that's there. I don't want to watch any more of this because clearly there's issues going on in this community with this lawyer. I told you at the beginning of this, there's obviously some deep-seated issues going on. Now it appears that this lawyer doesn't charge fees. So I said I thought this lawyer was inexperienced. I don't know. I mean, there are pro bono attorneys, but yeah, to basically say that you care about domestic violence and do all this, that something about that doesn't sit right with me for some reason. So you guys are more than welcome to check that video out yourself. Just look it up, and I'm reading from the Daily Mail article, but yeah, they are done practicing law now, and why they were practicing if they weren't making money, I don't know. It just seems like they like to argue at this point.
Isn't that why most attorneys become attorneys?
Yeah, that's what I said. Is like all my experience with attorneys over this past year and a half. I've learned that first of all, I hate lawyers, and they all think they're right, and they all just love arguing, and it just drives me bonkers.
Well, I was going to say, the ex's family that I
Yep.
married into, pretty much everybody's an attorney.
Oof.
So we have contract law for, intellectual property, and then there was a litigator. And yeah, I agree with you on those 2 points because every holiday was nothing but arguments. But then the mother actually stepped away from the firm, and all she did was practice pro bono law for women, domestic violence, and trying to get them into new residences, apartments, shelters, whatever, and then going and battling and protecting their right to utilities, whether they needed more time to be able to pay off those bills and whatnot. So I would say that that is not an attorney who is evil.
For sure. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying all lawyers are evil, and some probably
Yeah,
do
no, I
have
get
a
it.
good heart. But if you're making it a practice, right? Like, I'm gonna open a law firm and I mean, he's not Matthew Murdoch. He's not Daredevil. I mean, you gotta if you're opening, there's bills that gotta be paid, right? Like, you gotta pay bills. You gotta pay rent. You gotta do everything. It costs money to start an LLC, and to just say I'm not charging fees. Either it says all I'm gonna say is it says something. It sends up red flags in my opinion. Um, Now I know in a certain case there's a attorney that was willing to help a person in this community pro bono, but notice that attorney still put in a motion by the opposed to have the opposing party pay the fees. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there was still money at that lawyer's heart at some point. You know what I'm saying? There's just to say I'm gonna do this out of the kindness of my heart, it makes you something's not right there in my opinion. Especially if you do it for a family member or a close friend, sure, right? Like, yeah. But a complete random stranger, I don't know. Doesn't that send up a red flag or two?
No, I don't think so. Because I actually I had a case many, many, many years ago that I was very fortunate to get a pro bono attorney.
Okay.
And everybody's got costs to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of research, a lot of time spent on filling out the ridiculous amount of red tape and forms that have to be put in. And to go ahead and do that, in my case, it was the typical pro bono, like, we're just going to take a portion at the end.
Yeah.
Like, whatever you win, and I'm all for that type because that gives them a bone hanging on a rope at the end and make them work harder because they want a larger payout so they can get that percentage.
Yeah. I like what
Which is good for me.
Helen just said in chat that if they're an accident lawyer, they may not charge fees, but they do take a percentage of the win. And I agree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
they
there's
will.
money there. But there's money there at some point. It sounds like from what Mr. Rob Hopkins was saying is, I took these jobs for free, and it's all domestic violence. It's all DV. It sounds like Rob Hopkins specializes in DV, domestic violence. So I don't know anybody that just loves arguing DV cases for free. To each their own, I guess. I don't know.
I
Maybe
was
they
gonna
have.
say you ought to meet my ex-husband.
All right, so that's that story. I have a lot to cover today. Obviously, we're not going to get to too much today because I got derailed, but I think we got enough time for one more story.
Oh, please let us go over the police officer.
That's exactly what I figured we had just enough time for. So, in my location, guys, of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, we just had an incident happen with a Milwaukee Police Department officer who was dragged from a truck while trying to apprehend a fugitive. This man was wanted for, I believe it was domestic violence, if I'm not mistaken. And it happened on the city's south side. And I want you guys to watch the video first, and then we'll discuss it. And I want you guys to ask yourselves, was this necessary? Did this officer need to do what he did? All right, let's go to the video right now, guys. This is brought to you by, I believe this is WISN 12 News Milwaukee.
You better stop! Stop!
Breaking as we come on the air at 5, dramatic new body camera video just released by Milwaukee police. The video shows an officer hanging on the side of a truck as a suspect speeds down the street.
And that altercation ended with the officer shooting and killing this man, 35-year-old Jonathan Otto. It all happened earlier this month at 15th and Grant on the city's south side.
12 News' TJ Dysart is live in the newsroom. TJ.
And we do want to warn our viewers, the video is hard to watch. The officer clinging to the truck for more than 2 minutes that morning, telling the driver to stop several times before firing a deadly shot.
It's Wednesday, March 12th. Milwaukee police are near 12th and Burnham looking for 35-year-old Jonathan Otto, wanted at the time on allegations of assault and strangulation.
So assault and strangulation is what he was wanted for. So pretty much known to be dangerous.
An officer walks up to a white flatbed tow truck and calls out to Otto.
Mr. Otto.
Then this happens.
He's in the back. Get out! Stop the car!
Otto drives off, the officer still clinging to Otto's jacket with one hand. The officer's partner in disbelief as the tow truck comes barreling down the alley.
My partner's hanging on the flatbed of a truck going eastbound on Rogers from 12th Street. You better stop! Stop!
Back on the truck, Otto continues driving as his girlfriend in the passenger seat and the officer still holding on tell him to stop.
Wow.
At one point, Otto's girlfriend tells the officer to jump off.
I can't jump off!
The officer hanging on for nearly 2 minutes before pulling his gun. Then the officer fires a single shot. We pause the video there.
21 shots fired!
Hard video to watch, a lot happening there, but you also spoke to Otto's mother the day of the shooting, TJ.
Yeah, and she called her son a runner, referring to his 2 prior felony convictions of driving away from police, one in 2021, the other in 2015. His mother said Otto should have stopped the truck the day he was killed. That officer who shot him is still on administrative duty, which is standard for police shootings.
All right, TJ Dysart reporting live for us tonight from the newsroom. Thanks, TJ.
Crazy stuff. My question is to all of you, was that needed? Was that needed? I am of the opinion that yes. The part that upsets me is the fact that Mr. Otto's loved one was sitting passenger, and likely is going to be scarred for life due to that. But as the report said, there were, even if you guys watched the video itself, there were multiple warnings. I'm going to shoot you. Stop. And he felt for his safety, he had to take Mr. Otto's life. VickiPedia, what is your take on this story? Did we lose Vicky?
You there?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, are you here?
That's okay. Yeah, I'm here now.
What is your take on
I was
this
gonna say,
story?
did you read the email, the story that I sent you about how I actually had this happen in my family?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay, so extended family. Well, it's family, but it's like cousins 90 times removed.
Ah.
Um, are were police officers in Colorado Springs.
Oh yeah, I remember you
Um,
saying this now.
yeah, both the husband and wife. The husband was on the narcotics unit and then had switched over to the juvenile justice. Was actually the first person on the scene at Columbine. And decided to go back to narcotics.
I bet.
And there's some what we would consider humorous stories in his narcotics career, but his wife was just like this officer, just a regular beat cop, right?
Yep.
And you never know what you're sticking your arm into when you stop someone for traffic stops. You eventually get somebody pulled over. You never know what's going to happen when you walk up to that door.
Yeah.
And in her case, the person really didn't want to lower the window that much. It was a basic traffic stop. They had blown through a stop sign, and they were providing the driver's license and registration, but not out the window. It was slightly inside the window, so she reached in to get it, and they grabbed her arm, pulled her in, and then slammed on the gas and rolled up the window and dragged her.
Yeah.
For quite a bit at high speed.
Yeah, I like this.
That was when she had to end her career.
Wow. Wow. I like this quote though from this, that they said that this was totally an avoidable incident. And I agree. It was an avoidable incident. And I like what Marla said, is that he endangered his fiance's life as well. What do you think about that, VickiPedia? What do you think about him meaning the victim, Mr. Otto, endangering his fiance's wife by his actions?
Oh
as
yeah,
well?
yeah. His actions were completely uncalled for. But I would say they're not surprising considering what he was wanted for.
Yeah, and Stacy said if he would have jumped off the car, he could have been ran over, and that's true. Especially in a big truck like that, driving. They were
Yeah.
driving crazy speeds through alleys, and on 15th and Grant here in Milwaukee. That, first of all, that's a very bad neighborhood. It's very known for heroin trafficking. I'm just letting it be known. And they have these really narrow alleys, and first of all, it's a very shitty area, and the alleys are even more so, whether it's nighttime or daytime. Those alleys are where people congregate and do all these deals and stuff. And to drive at the speeds they were driving at through those alleys, it says a lot, first of all. So I agree. Had he let go, he most likely he would have been ran over. I bet you he would have got pinned between a garbage can, and it could have been very bad. So a lot of people in Milwaukee are outraged, saying, excessive force and whatnot. I am of the opinion that, in my opinion, justified. And I agree with, they said here in the Milwaukee Journal Sentinel, there was a press conference, and they said this was a totally avoidable incident. And the man knew he was wanted. Just when you saw the police approach, this is what I talk about when I say the world has gone mad. Because what happened to just going quietly? Like, if you're a man, right, and people always talk about manning up, if you're going to do the crime, do the time or whatever, right? So when the hell did men become little boys is what I want to know. Why is it okay now to try to drag? We've seen it with Rob here, with Rob Hopkins, the lawyer. What could just be a simple thing, right? Listen to somebody. Do as you are told. It gets drove into this big thing, and it explodes, and now we're dealing with deaths and $25,000 bonds, and
Because
fiancés that are
what you're
dealing with.
looking at
Yeah.
is Gen X and Gen Alpha, or not Gen X, sorry, Gen Z and Gen Alpha, who are trauma bragging and entitled. They don't think they have to follow the rules the way everybody else does because it impedes on whatever trauma they've had in the past. My question, though, that nobody's asked yet that I've seen is when the police officer pulled him over and he stopped before the incident between Mr. Otto and the police officer happened,
Mm-hmm.
why didn't the fiance get the hell out of the truck?
True. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean,
she must have known that Mr. Otto had tendencies, or you wouldn't be a fiance at that point. And it speaks to me that she might have been his victim of domestic violence, too scared to move. But yeah, my question is, people are saying, well, it traumatized his loved one. Well, why the hell was she still there?
yeah.
when it
I
started?
I see that point. And about the whole, why didn't they immediately ask him to get out of the car? They kind of did ask him to
Oh yeah.
but part of me wonders if this man had a prior relationship with the police, whether it's multiple arrests or maybe he could have been a CI. Obviously, he felt it was okay to approach the way he did. I don't know if he had a prior relationship with him or whatnot, but bottom line is he's no longer around, 35 years old, gone. And his fiance is now doing article. She's now giving interviews about it and talks about how she's traumatized and all that crazy stuff. And yeah, this is what's becoming regular in my city. Do you guys, you live in California, are you having stuff like this in your area?
Dude, I live near LA. We've been having stuff like this in our area for decades.
But is it more prevalent now? Like, is it?
No, because what we're really dealing with right now in my area of California, so that would be Los Angeles South, is ICE. So I think there could be a lot of news that could be similar to this that we're not seeing because the problems with the ICE raids and whatnot.
Yeah.
And the protests that are happening. I mean, the ones that are happening near me, they're using industrial grade. I mean, they being the protesters.
You're talking about from No
are
King's Day?
using- yeah. They're using industrial grade fireworks pointed at the officers.
Yeah, I do have a
Not
story about that.
fired. Yeah, not off the ground, but held like a land-to-air missile going after an F-16.
Yeah, it's crazy you say that
Yeah.
because yesterday was No King's Day, and basically this
Right.
was the third protest they've done, No King's Day, and it's basically a glorified peaceful. It's supposed to be a peaceful protest against the Trump administration and anybody who thinks that we are a democracy, we are not ruled by kings. And it basically started in 2025. There've been 3 protests. I had a whole story I want to do, but we're running out of time. So I just wanted to touch on, everybody was praying. I personally was praying for peacefulness. I wanted this to be a peaceful thing and have no stories. But of course, the world is going to hell in a handbasket. And this was the outcome. I'm going to go to a video right now from Fox. It is a Fox News, so you got to take what Fox says with a grain of salt. Some people like Fox, some people don't. I'm really of no opinion. I watch all news sources, but according to Fox News, it was anything but peaceful protests across the country. And this is Fox News take on the situation.
Okay, chaos erupting yesterday at No Kings protests across the country as rioters clash with federal agents in defiance of the Trump administration, leading to multiple arrests. Chanley Painter is here with the very latest. Hi, Chanley.
Hey, good morning. So thousands of No Kings Day protests took place across the country yesterday. Demonstrators saying they were rallying against President Trump's policies, the rising cost of living, and the war in Iran. But in some cities, multiple people were arrested as the clashes between protesters, counter-protesters, and officers turned chaotic. In Denver, police had to use smoke bombs as protests spiraled out of control. And in Portland, masked protesters tackled federal officers outside an ICE facility. In Los Angeles, a tactical alert had to be issued following several clashes. DHS saying that around 1,000 rioters surrounded the federal building there, throwing rocks, bottles, and large concrete blocks, hurting at least 2 officers. Tear gas had to be deployed at one point. And this woman could be seen painting the words, "Kill your local ICE agent," outside the building. The U.S. Attorney for the Central District of California posting this, quote,
So this article goes on, this news source goes on and on to say how many arrests there were, the horrible things that were done, people tagging buildings saying kill your local ICE agents, multiple arrests. So it sounds like all across the country, King's Day was anything but peaceful protests. I can't speak to how it was locally. Here, we've had several protests locally. From the news sources I've gathered, they were mostly peaceful here. And according to Wikipedia, you said it wasn't very peaceful there, was it?
No, it was absolutely not. And remember, being in California, we are, thanks to New Scum, as we like to call him, we are a sanctuary state. So we have got basically everyone who is being booted out of or running from other states are coming here. And there's the famous battle between Texas and California and the busloads. I don't know if you were aware of that, but Texas would round up and then push them, send them to California, and then California would stop them at the border and send them back.
That's
to
insane.
Texas. That was going on for a while. But I think a couple things we need to remember, like you said, this isn't a monarchy over here. But a lot of people forget we're not a democracy. We are a representative democratic republic. And so if you guys don't know what that is, you need to go back and do some research on Rome and how they ran their Senate versus Caesar and whatnot. And we are very similar. I mean, our Constitution was built for checks and balances. We just decided that the balances were going to go out the window.
Yeah. No,
it was not a peaceful, it was a war zone near where I live. I just stayed inside and not me. Thank you.
I agree with protests, right? I mean, like, our country is born on freedom of speech. Let's just keep it real. The word is peaceful protest, and I think it speaks to, I hate to say it, the state of the world, right? That we can't have peaceful. What happened to sit-ins, right? Like, remember people would do sit-ins and they would handcuff each other and they would do to protest war. There's ways to do it that's peaceful, right? And you still get a message across, right? Why does getting a message across now always mean violence, right? War has never been a positive thing. Seriously, I don't know any wartime president that had serious approval. Maybe there's been a few. I don't know.
So I'm going to interrupt you right there. Economically, for the United States, wartime is a very positive thing. We never flourish more economically than when we're in war. And you can go back and look at, I wouldn't take a look at Vietnam.
But that doesn't mean go start wars.
We all know that wasn't a war. That was something we didn't need to be involved in. But if you go back to World War One, World War II, look at Korea, look at Desert Storm, every single time that we have been at war, which we're about to go to again, it has been a huge economic influx for us.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean start a war for the economy.
No.
I mean,
No,
I like what
but-
Helen says. Helen says, I think that most are not violent, and it's just a few bad apples, and they're paid to be bad apples. What's your take on, the paid agitators? Do you think that's a real thing?
Oh, they are right up there with the paid town hall meeting people during presidential elections. Called scum of the earth. We'll take money to change the minds of people around us.
I've seen paid
Yeah.
agitators before. I mean, I remember back to the Tiffany Henyard debacle that was going on in Illinois, and she was getting hammered at those city hall meetings so bad. And I remember towards the tail end of it, it seemed, I shouldn't say she definitely was, because I don't know, but it appeared like she was paying people to come up there and say good things about her and everything she's done for the community and stuff like that. So I do believe that paid agitators can be a thing. I think it's a thing.
Oh, it is a thing. It's like I said, it's I remember the first time that Hillary Clinton ran, and somebody started noticing people's in their early to mid 20s in her town hall meeting crowds that had binders that they were reading them, and then would raise their hand to ask a question, or they'd shout the chant at the right time. And she got busted for having paid people to influence the mob mentality. I still think one of the greatest quotes coming ridiculously out of a movie, which would be Men in Black 1, is that a person is smart, people are stupid.
Yeah, I like that.
And
I
it's
like that.
because people feed off of a mob mentality.
Yeah.
People have forgotten how to think for themselves, and that it's okay to not think like everybody else around you.
For sure.
And we're getting back into that with the paid agitators. We are literally forcing a mob mentality.
It's crazy. So that was no King's Day, guys. They're probably gonna. I believe they're setting up another one. They're gonna be more protests, and all I can say is, don't be one of the assholes. Keep it, tight. Keep it peaceful. The people around the world look at us Americans like we're already crazy, violent freaks in a lot of instances. Don't add to that stereotype. But basically, one more question I had to ask you, VickiPedia, seeing as how we're wrapping it up here. You read the first bit of my novel I'm writing. I offered today that if I hit goal, we got 3 out of the 5 I had. I set a goal for 5 super chats. That if we hit goal, I would release the first draft of what I've written. As far as you said to split it to the prologue and the first chapter, like a few others have. What are your thoughts so far on reading what I've written?
I'm waiting for the rest of it.
So it did hook you in?
What you gave me, I am totally invested.
Good.
I have said for a long time that you have got a gift for not only graphic design, but for writing, because of those songs you write with, the AI or whatever we're using for music.
Yeah.
But you have got a definite gift for writing. And I happen to be a fan of 1, historical fiction, and 2, fantasy sci-fi.
Yeah.
And when you sent me the draft of this, I was instantly engaged.
Yes.
I
That
started reading
makes my day.
Yeah, I was like, because I read about 110 pages
Thanks for the
an
dono.
hour. And
Hashtag besties release the book. Open book emoji.
usually when I
Romantic
start
face
reading books,
emoji.
and I will admit this, we're all getting this right now publicly, that I generally read books looking for the quotations because for me, everything in between doesn't really matter.
Okay.
It's the dialogue. But in your book, I started doing that because it's just natural for me to do that. I stopped and I went, wait, let me go back. And then I started at the very beginning and I was reading every single freaking word. Now, the only joke that popped up in my head at the time, because you know me, little Miss Sarcasm.
Yeah.
I was like, I wonder if he's related by blood to Anne Rice with the amount of description he's putting in.
You think it's over descriptive? See, this is the stuff I need to know. I've never written anything for people to read before. And
I'm the wrong person to ask about that because I just said I only look for quotations.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the level of description. But
Okay.
I also enjoyed the fact that you were not writing for the standard. For those of you who don't know, because I came out of the SEO world, the standard that we write web pages at are at a 4th grade reading level. It's just ridiculous. But I was so appreciative of reading a book that, yeah, very well could be, dropped into the young adult,
Yeah.
genre. I was very appreciative that I was not reading 4th grade level reading. It was actually written by somebody who had an advanced vocabulary. We're not talking about, $10 words, $20 words.
No.
But we're using sentence structures and
Admittedly,
grammar
there are
and
run-ons.
language that was just engaging.
That really makes me
And
happy.
I'm going to say it. If it engages me reading, then I'm going to send you a trophy because I have read so many books in my lifetime that I just decided Kindle was a better way to go because I did not have enough room for all the books that were taking over my house.
For sure. Yeah. I
So
mean,
yeah, no, I think it is. I'm looking forward to the rest of it.
I'll send you some more.
I'm hungry for the rest of it.
But it is a first draft. I have to make that clear.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
rough.
no, but
so when you guys are going to read
was
this,
enough. But it wasn't that rough, dude.
Okay. I mean, I thought it was good. I liked it.
I was gonna say the only question I really had was what was the purpose of separating everything into one sentence and then hitting return 3 times?
Yeah. It's you got to think when
But
I'm
I
typing.
thought
When I'm
about it,
typing,
and I thought, well, how would you get those ideas across in the way you wanted to get them across? So to really kind of pinpoint, look at this,
yeah,
and throw that in a paragraph, you really couldn't.
and you got to think
I
I've
kinda
edited
backed
this
off
so
of that
many
opinion.
times, and I've edited this so many times, and when I write, I've been jumping all around because I'll get an idea and I'm like, oh, I got to write this, and then I'll try to, the whole document gets copy pasted, yada yada yada, and then I start writing in and reversing, and it just so obviously the formatting is atrocious, and I apologize for that. And I am
No,
and I do overuse. I overuse my ellipsis. I overuse the 3 periods a lot. These are things that I need notes
yeah,
on.
you and me both.
These
You
are
and me
things
both.
I leave hanging sentences. These are stuff I need notes on because, like I said, I've never written before. I am going to self-publish this. So all I ask is when you guys read this, I need honesty. Don't kiss my ass. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. But don't be hateful. Please don't be hateful. I'm trying my hardest here.
You are bagging on yourself right now unnecessarily because if you can hook me on a book with what you sent me,
23
and
pages
I'm
I
going to
sent her.
rephrase that. Yeah, if you can hook me on a series based on what you sent me, you are writing very well.
That means a lot.
Yeah,
to me.
okay, everything needs a cleanup at some point, but we both know how you do things, how you tend to hyper focus sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think you've done a lot of that cleanup on your own already.
Thank you for saying that. I'm trying. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna release it.
It's great.
So I'm gonna
It's
put it
great.
out there.
I want it.
I need
I
notes.
want it.
Awesome. So that's where we're at, guys. That's basically all I got for you guys today. VickiPedia, thank you for joining me. We will record an episode soon. And I want to say it right now while I got VickiPedia on the line. The reason there hasn't been an episode out for a while, it's 100% my fault. VickiPedia has been more than willing to hop on. As you can tell, she hopped on today. It's been a me thing, and we're going to fix that. So I'd apologize to you
And
first of all.
There is your 5th super chat.
Thanks for the dono.
Bada bing. Thank you. It's done, guys. Well, I'll have that out for you guys. It'll be a link that you guys can click. I'll put it in the description of the stream. You guys can come back and click it. I'll do that as soon as we end. Please send me your input, guys. I need input. You can send it to Miltownsbest raw footage at gmail.com. Any editing notes, point out my run-ons, because I know there's some run-ons.
No, there's not.
I try to. You sure? Because I think I overuse a comma a lot.
No, dude, this was my job that I had before I got disabled. Is I was the senior quality control, and I was responsible for reading 150,000 word websites, plus all their code, correcting the company's entire legal grammar. And I'm telling you, that is written beautifully. Okay. And there are just a couple tiny adjustments that need to be made, but it is not run on at all. You had me engaged from word one.
Is there a place as soon as I end the stream, I will post the link in the description. I think I can actually hold on here. I could probably put it in chat for you guys. I think I made it public. But again, guys, if you could email me your notes and your thoughts on it, it would really mean.
And I totally agree with Stacy right here. Don't be your own worst critic. You're overanalyzing.
I think that
Thanks
you guys...
for the dono.
Oh wow.
If you need help editing,
yes,
I am formerly a teacher.
So it's marked as chapter 1. I posted it in the chat right now. You guys should be able to click that. It's pinned. Send me any notes, guys. Miltownsbest raw footage at gmail.com. And like I said, it's first draft. We're gonna go from here, but I need to know if it's a concept that hooks you, and if you want to read more.
It hooked me.
Awesome.
It hooked me.
That
Okay,
really makes my day.
and just you don't seem to really want to buy that it hooked me. So okay, I haven't.
I'm just
mentioned it yet.
self-conscious.
Well, but remember I said the family were attorneys, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So the intellectual property attorney was the contract attorney for Dean Koontz. So I have a copy of every book Dean Koontz has put out.
Nice.
And I can tell you where he was dropping, where he started rising back up into a different genre, where things kind of went south for a little while with his damn golden retrievers. I am telling you, do not overanalyze. Your job is not to edit your work. Your job is to let it flow from your brain and let somebody who has no dog in the fight edit it.
Well, it's out in the world now, so we'll see what comes back,
People
guys.
are gonna love it.
It's the Owls of Emrys, and it's Hinge Day. Hopefully, it'll be the first of a series if people like it. I have lots of ideas for where I could take this, so let me know what you guys think. And with that, Vicky, I think we're gonna end. Thank you guys all for watching, and I will be streaming more as we go on here. As you guys can tell, I've been a little bit rusty, but we're back in the saddle. We're gonna start knocking these out. Like I said, I cleared everything up earlier because there were people in the chat asking me what's going on. I gave my opinions, and then we went back to our content, and this is where Miltownsbest is, guys. So I hope you are here for the journey. We will record another episode of Supapedia relatively soon, hopefully within the next day or two. And I see Stratlova's in the chats. Thank you so much, Stratlova, for all the help. He's an awesome man. Really helped me out a lot at the beginning of everything I've been doing with my weight loss journey, and I'm still on it, still doing great. VickiPedia said I got cheekbones now. And that made me feel good.
Yep. You have got, every time I see that picture, I'm like, cheekbones.
So yeah, that's where I'm at, guys. I'm having fun. We're gonna do some more streams. Please, guys, again, if you read what I've written so far, send me your notes. Miltownsbest raw footage at gmail.com. And with that, guys, I am out. See you later, Vicky. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.